Welcome back everyone, my name is Kevin. Today I'll be bringing you my hands-on look and first impressions of the brand new Samsung Galaxy A32 5G. I have used it for several days now. I have a good grasp of what Samsung has done differently with this phone as compared to the A31 from last year. Today I'm going to be breaking down the package contents and also telling you all about the features of the A32 5G and my thoughts on them. Let's start with what's in the box and then talk about the important specifications. Included with the A32 5G, I got the standard travel wall adapter, a USB-C to A cable, and the SIM tool. In this top section, I also found the ordinary warranty card, the quick start guide, and also a soft silicone case, which is a really nice inclusion. Now just to remind you, this is Samsung's most affordable and cheapest 5G enabled phone. Despite this, they haven't cheaped out on the hardware additions, such as the micro SD card slot, side-mounted fingerprint scanner, headphone jack, or the 5000 mAh battery built into this phone. It's running Android 11 and One UI 3.1. That's the first I've seen of this software version on an A-series phone, but I do expect older devices such as the previous generation to get the Android 11 update too. The A32 5G is a very premium feeling phone in the hand. It's got a nice weight to it without being too heavy, and also the build materials here are well chosen. Some early reports and articles may have been referring to the construction as glass and aluminum, but I can confirm it's neither. It's plastic, but I've used a lot of plastic phones, and this one definitely tops all of them off. Only time will tell how this material holds up to damage. I'll report back to you in my full review. The buttons, although plastic, do have an audible tactility that will be even heard through a plastic case. As for the chipset, we've got the octa-core MediaTek Dimensity 720 5G, a 7nm chip paired with the Mali G57 MC3 for graphics. My unit has 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, which is quite adequate. By the way, in just a bit, I'm going to be showing you my benchmark results for this phone. The display size is 6.5 inches, it's a 20:9 aspect ratio, which I've really come to like. It also has a respectable screen-to-body ratio for the price. There is one obvious drawback with going for the A32 5G, and that is the panel type. Now, I consider the TFT display technology used here a drawback because its predecessor, the A31, used a Super AMOLED display, and the A31 has a much higher pixel density. You already know this calls for a comparison to be made between the A32 and the A31. I am getting to work on that video. If you are subscribed to my channel with the notification bell turned on, you're going to be among the first to see that video on YouTube. Not just specifications on screen, I'm actually going in detail, talking about everything that you want to know in a comparison. And if you've seen my Galaxy A12 versus Galaxy A11 video, you know newer doesn't always necessarily mean better in every way. Setting up this phone has been very easy and a smooth process. I got prompted to choose which apps I wanted installed, so there's minimal Samsung bloatware, which I think we can all appreciate. The fingerprint scanner was easy to set up as well. It's the same sensor that's used in the Galaxy A12 after all. Getting back to the performance, here is my Geekbench 5 results. This is about what I expected for the single-core and multi-core score of the A32 5G. It'll be interesting to stack this up next to the A31, which also has a MediaTek chip. The 5000 mAh battery has consistently given me all-day use for as long as I've had the phone, and it also supports 15-watt charging, so powering up the phone from 0 to fully charged actually doesn't take too long. The quad rear lens camera array of the A32 was a part of this phone that I was very excited to test out. The main lens is a 48-megapixel camera at an aperture of f1.8. There's an 8-megapixel ultra-wide camera, a 5-megapixel macro lens, and a depth sensor for the portrait blur images. My main camera samples have impressed me so far. Unfortunately, I've had several instances of the camera app crashing on me, and I was just using the regular photo mode. For video modes, we have slow motion, hyperlapse, and most importantly, regular 30 FPS footage at a 4K resolution. The selfie camera is 13 megapixels, and if you want to record video on it, you can do that at 1080p at 30 FPS. As for the software settings that I have configured, I think motions and gestures is a notable settings menu. Here you can turn on lift to wake, double tap to turn on, and finger sensor gestures. If the 6.5-inch display size of the A32 is a bit big for your hands, there is a one-handed mode here to help for that as well. In the device care setting, you can see how your usage patterns affect battery life. I use this setting to see the available memory, so this is where I go to see how much of the 6GB of RAM is being used. Of course, I swapped the clunky navigation buttons for the swipe gesture to get more use of the display, and I changed the home screen grid icon size to 5x5 to match all the rest of my Galaxy phones. If icon badges bother you as well, this is the menu to change that with just the press of this button. I have always been critical of the speakers that Samsung puts into Galaxy A phones, and nothing's changed here. It's still very tinny sounding, and it's not great. If you're looking to pick up this device early, here's my advice. When choosing one of the many variants of the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G, I would personally recommend the 6GB RAM variant with the 128GB of storage. Now, the key specification here is the RAM, and we're going to go in detail about that in my comparisons and in my review. In the meantime, I'm going to be answering as many questions of yours that I can in the comment section below, and I really appreciate the positive comments that you leave me and also the likes. That's it. Thank you for watching, my friends. Bye for now.